Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, sustainable development, and we have changed the title to incorporate more topics into this that we are already covering, but we have exclusively mentioned and changed the title from the present title to International Webinar Series or International Series on Climate Change, Environment, Health, and Sustainable Development 2025. And from now onwards, all the certificates, all the proceedings shall happen on this title, and all the links shall remain same. But to broaden the scope, where the title conveys much more information, we have included and changed accordingly, and all the certificates will reflect with the new title. So the new flyer has also been circulated in social media on our Facebook and various other platforms. It is being shared, so you can continue to use that flyer, and all rest of all things remain same. The procedures, presentations, formalities continue to be, links and all remain same. The website is also going to be the same. Only the series that is more apt to the programs and events have been appropriately updated. So with this, we will continue with today's sessions and commemorations. So we welcome you once again to the international series commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 77 years of independence, and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 and Viksit Bharat 2047 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing and International and National Fraternity. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. Today and this week is commemorated as biggest week in American birding in US, with of the first full week news for 10 days. So this year, it takes place from May 9th to 30th. So the Black Swamp Bird Observatory organizes the events for the day. It is a festival for bird watchers and those who love nature and wildlife. A complete feast for the eyes with the colors of so many I think there was some connectivity issue, lost connection. So the availability of food, water, and a favorable climate for living and mating is not so easy for the birds. To counter this shortage, birds exploited their advantage in mobility and started migrating. Migration is a difficult process, but most bird species have evolved adaptations that can help them easily migrate great distances without stopping. Today is also commemorated as Foster Care Fortnight from May 9th to 22nd. This observance is among the most crucial foster care awareness campaign in the UK. Foster Care Fortnight was established by the Fostering Network, which is among the leading fostering charities in the country. The campaign, established in 1997, aims to showcase the role and dedication of the foster care system in giving children the life they deserve. Many children need the care and love of the foster families each year. This observance was created to help these children finding a loving home. Foster Care Fortnight is a crucial awareness campaign. It's Fostering Network largest foster care awareness raising initiative. It has been running for more than 20 years and honors foster caregivers' outstanding commitment, enthusiasm, and dedication. Foster Care Fortnight is the world's largest foster care awareness raising campaign organized by the Fostering Network, a major fostering organization. The campaign, which began in 1997, highlights foster care givers' commitment and compassion, dedication. It also assists fostering services in emphasizing the need for more foster carers. So, foster care is a state authorized system in which child or young person is positioned within a ward, foster family, or a private house of a state certified. Caretaker referred to as foster parent or with a family member approved by the state. Normally, the child's placement is organized through the government or a social service agency. Unless accompanied by a family member, the organization or foster family is compensated for expenditures with a grant. Every year, thousands of new foster families are needed to care for children, with the largest need being for foster homes for disabled children, group siblings, older children, and unaccompanied asylum seekers. Foster Care Fortnight reminds us of the urgent needs of these children and directs us all toward answers. This day is a perfect time to explore the foster care route and learn more about what it means to be foster carer and how the foster system works. Be proactive during the 2 weeks and learn how the fostering agencies and local authorities work together to place children in homes. Today is also commemorated as National Public Gardens Week from May 9 to 18 in US, which is an annual observance that begins on the Friday before Mother's Day and takes place from May 9 to 18 this year. It's a week to promote awareness about botanic gardens, arboreta, zoos, historic gardens, or any of the North American public gardens. So today and this week is also commemorated as National Stuttering Awareness Week from May 9 to 15 in the US, which is organized as an observance in the United States for people who stutter. It helps people who stutter to come out in the open and not be afraid of anyone judging them for their speech disorder. The day is usually observed by the entire country, but a lot of hospitals and medical institutions organize special events to help people who stutter to talk without any fear. 1 in every 25 children in the US has some or other issue with stuttering. The original idea for National Stuttering Awareness Week came from Dan Weiss, who helped organize the Philadelphia chapter of the National Stuttering Project, NSP, which is now called the National Stuttering Association. In October 1986, Weiss wrote a piece for the Philadelphia NSP newsletter, speaking out, suggesting that there should be a special week assigned to bring stuttering to the attention of American public. However, it was Paul Castellano, with the tireless help of Barbara Hubbard Covell, both from Delaware, who played the most significant role. Despite having a relatively severe stutter, Castellano had the courage and determination to testify before the several US congressional subcommittees in zealous efforts to raise the public awareness about stuttering. NSP members contacted their representatives. Then in early April of 1988, Paul and Barbara appeared at the US Capitol for a ceremony that established NSAW, National Stuttering Awareness Week. Many dignitaries, including Senator John Glenn, whose wife Fanny is a person who stutters, were present. Jane Fraster, president of Stuttering Foundation of America, made a speech at the NSW dedication ceremony on Capitol Hill. On April 13, 1988, President Ronald Reagan signed the first proclamation for the period of May 9 through May 15 of 1988 as the National Stuttering Awareness Week by Public Law 100-260. Today is also commemorated as this entire week as UN Global Road Safety Week from May 9 to 30. These dates are announced by the UN closer at the time. This year it takes place from May 9 to 30. This week was first marked in 2007. It was no longer observed until 2013, and it has been recorded every 2 years since then until 2019. It is a special global road safety campaign hosted by the World Health Organization that aims to raise awareness about road safety and accident prevention. About 1.3 million people die on the world's roads every year, and 20 to 50 million people are injured every year. Road traffic crashes are a major cause of death among all age groups. So, road traffic crashes, injuries, and deaths not only have a terrible impact on the individuals, but also have an impact on communities and country human health and financial resources. It can not only cause grief and suffering, but it can also ruin a country's wealth. With the massive costs associated with healthcare systems and loss of productivity and prosperity, with economic and social repercussions. The Working Party on the Road Traffic Safety of the UN Economic Commission for Europe, UNECE, initiated the creation of the Global Road Safety Week in March 2005. Later, the Working Party considered expanding the idea of Safety Week to the global context rather than only the UNECE region. In October 2005, the UN General Assembly officially supported the creation of the Global Road Safety Week in order to provide a platform for global and regional activities to raise awareness about road safety issues. The organization invites the UN regional commissions and the World Health Organization to establish the first UN Global Road Safety Week. The first UN Global Road Safety Week was themed Youth Road Safety. It was specifically aimed at the youth because the data demonstrate that young people are outnumbered in road accidents. However, The main goal of the week was to invite and educate all road users about the importance of road safety. At the UN Global Safety Week, world leaders will meet at the high-level meeting on road safety. So join the movement and make a difference. Today is also commemorated as the Alphabet Magnet Day, which is celebrated on May 9th, is a fun and nostalgic tribute to one of the simplest yet most cherished childhood pastimes, rearranging colorful alphabet magnets on the fridge. For years, these magnetic letters have sparked creativity, laughter, and learning as people of all ages spell out everything from quickly phrases to their favorite song lyrics, whether remember arranging them as a kid or still use them to leave messages or jokes on your fridge today. This day is a reminder of how something too simple can bring joy on Alphabet Magnet Day. Take a moment to explore unique and modern alphabet magnets to continue this tradition. Today is also commemorated as Child Care Provider Day, celebrated every Friday before the Mother's Day annually, and this year it falls on May 9th. On this day, people across the country come together to celebrate and raise awareness of the importance of childcare and the people who work in this field every day in hopes of raising healthier, safer, and happier children. Childcare has been part of our society for a long time. For centuries, women had responsibility to care for their children daily, since they have been conquering more and more space within the community. As workers, children have been entrusted to childcare providers. These are people who can engage with children and care for them, providing them with the best opportunities they can get for safety and health. They can work either at specialized facilities such as daycares or schools or the family's home and act as nannies or babysitters. So when a child care provider works at a formal facility, they must have experience with children and understand the basics of first aid and CPR. Not only that, but they go through extensive background checks and drug testing to ensure the children's safety above all else. At daycares or schools, child care providers act as education and provide a learning environment for the children they care for. Parents can also find licensed professionals to work at their homes. Through recommendations, child care providers not only keep company and ensure that a child is safe, but they also perform tasks such as cleaning, feeding, and teaching them basic words and numbers. It's important to remember that many factors contribute to a child's development, such as cultural, biological, and psychological aspects. Today is also commemorated as Fantastic Friday on May 9th, which takes place every second Friday of May. Elasmobranchi, a subclass of cartilaginous fish that includes sharks, rays, skates, and sawfish, is the focus of this special day. These aquatic animals contain 5 to 7 pairs of separately opening gill clefts, inflexible dorsal fins, and tiny plesioid skin scales. Ruth Musgrave, the founder and director of the Whale Times, created Fantastic Friday, which promotes conservation efforts for shark, ray, skate, and sawfish. In 2015, the second Friday in May was designated Fantastic Friday to give sharks, skates, and rays a voice. It was established by the Whale Times, an organization led by Ruth Musgrave that was established in 1995 to connect children to the ocean. The goal of Fantastic Friday is to raise awareness and encourage advocacy for the protection of elasmobranchs. The cartilaginous fish subclass includes sharks, rays, skates, and sawfish. So Musgrave believes that children are the shark's future, as no one is louder or more enthusiastic than a caring child. Not only do they want children from all over the world to spread the message of saving the sharks, but they also want them to honor and create awareness for sharks everywhere. So raising awareness and advocating for conservation efforts who saved some of the ocean's most magnificent creatures, is what inspired the team behind the creation of Whale Times and the goal to provide easy access to marine science information for children. And though formal and informal education programs, their mission is to connect the ocean researchers, and students. Today, the organization is admired by educators, marine scientists, and other scientific organizations for inspiring students to pursue careers in marine science and work towards solutions to protect our ocean environments. As the director of Whale Times, Musgrave believes that the public's perception of sharks could be revised because their survival is critical to the survival of all ocean species. They believe that they require a new voice and that children can help provide that voice. It encourages them to participate in shark conservation efforts and contributes to changing the public perception of sharks from fear to appreciate and from hatred to love as all of nature's creatures should be. Guernsey Liberation Day is celebrated on May 9th in UK. Every year, it commemorates the island's freedom from German occupation during the World War II. The island or Bailiwick of Guernsey is one of the two crown dependencies that make up the Channel Islands. The other and bigger of the two is Bailiwick of Jersey. They are known as archipelagos and are located on the English Channel. Between England and France, German occupation began on June 30, 1940. So Guernsey was officially occupied by the Germans on June 30, 1940, approximately 8 months after the Second World War was started. They are not part of the United Kingdom, but the UK is responsible for the defense and international relations of the island. However, the British government decided to leave Guernsey undefended as German planes bombed the harbor in the capital parish of St. Peter Port after mistaking a group of tomato lorries for a convoy of crude carriers. After 48 hours, German troops began to land and raise their flag. Half of the population, including children, had to be excavated to the UK. The invasion lasted almost 5 years and the island found itself under German rule as Hitler's island madness, becoming the most fortified place in the world. The island was the only British territory conquered by Hitler. So locals had most of their lands belongings taken away by the Germans. Some were sent to prisons and camps, while others resisted to protest between 1940 and 1945, and many lost their families, homes, and lives. The island of Guernsey was freed the day after Churchill announced the end of the war in 1945. The reminder of how resilient the islanders were and accompanying sense of freedom are what we celebrate on Guernsey Liberation Day. Today is also commemorated as Hooray for Buttons Day in US, which is an annual event observed on May 9th. A button is a small knob or disc secured to an article, mostly clothing, and used as a fastener with a buttonhole or loop. It also refers to a circular metal or plastic badge that bears a stamp, design, or printed slogan. For example, a campaign button, the oldest known button, dates back to 5000 BC in the Indus River Valley and was made from a curved shell. It was not until the 13th century that buttons served as fasteners, and this, along with buttonholes, first appeared in Germany before spreading throughout Europe. So buttons are made from almost any material in the world, from plastic to metal. Their composition often reflects the popular materials of the era in which they were made. Today, the most common materials are hard plastic, metals, seashells, or wood. They were once made by artisans, artists, and craftspeople out of raw materials or found objects such as fossils or a combination of both. Nowadays, factories produce them in large quantities. So button collecting is quite popular in the United States. People collect buttons for a variety of reasons. For future use, for casual collecting, or for competitive collecting. Hobbies magazine organized a hobby show in Chicago in which button collectors participated. Later that year. They formed the National Button Society and held their first button show. Many state and local button clubs were formed in the following decade, holding their own button shows. The National Button Society has over 3,000 members on 4 different continents. It focuses on educational research and exhibitions, the publication of materials about buttons and the preservation of the importance of buttons. Today is also commemorated as Lost Sock Memorial Day in US, which is celebrated annually on May 9th, honors all the socks that are no longer with us. We are not certain, but we do know is that losing one sock of a perfectly matched pair is a widespread phenomenon. So much so that we have a day on which to honor these socks we had loved and lost. The sock industry continues to grow in sales and expand in variety. Gone are the days of one color only style socks. Today, socks serve multiple purposes and are manufactured to perform based on need. Of course, the dressy trousers sock in neutral colors exist for professional or fancy occasions, but the markets for fun and functional socks are making a name for themselves. Themed graphic socks are trendier for modern, less casual work environment. Today, we stand to pay tribute to our dearly departed socks, which offer some clever ways to honor our lost socks and help those surviving socks press on. Today is also commemorated as National Butterscotch Brownie Day in US. You love delicious sweet buttery treats from National Butterscotch Brownie Day on May 9th is the day for you. The tasty baked goods are a perfect mixture of chewy and crunchy, a combo that is certainly worthy of celebration. For the uninitiated, a butterscotch brownie is baked treat made from a combination of flour, brown sugar, butter, baking powder, vanilla, and of course butterscotch chips. Just listening the ingredients is enough to make the mouth water. So today we get to George on all tasty butterscotch flavored soft dessert treats we can get our hands on. It's one of the most delicious days around. Butterscotch brownies are also known as blondies or blonde brownies, as opposed to more popular chocolate brownies. Apart from the color, a significant difference between blondies and brownies is that blondies use vanilla instead of cocoa. Surprisingly, blondies actually come before brownies. Butterscotch brownies existed as far back as late 19th century, while chocolate brownies only came into existence in 1905. So traditionally, blondies were made with the regular baking ingredients: flour, butter, baking powder with brown sugar, vanilla, and butterscotch chips, giving it a unique coloring and flavor. And surprisingly, no scotch at all. Some recipes and add chocolate chips and nuts to get blondies for an extra. Day is also commemorated as National Military Spouse Appreciation Day in US, which is an annual observance that takes place on Friday preceding Mother's Day. It shows appreciation for the commitment and sacrifice that spouses of service members make together with the rest of their family while they are away on the mission to defend the country. The day was initiated to recognize the importance of empowering military spouses and ensuring they had what they need to thrive. So National Military Spouse Appreciation Day was first observed in 1984 when President Ronald Reagan recognized the importance of spousal commitment to the readiness and well-being of military members with Proclamation 5184 dated April 17, 1980. Shortly after, in 1999, Congress officially made Military Spouse Appreciation Day part of National Military Appreciation Month before the Department of Defense standardized the date by declaring the Friday before Mother's Day every year as a day to show appreciation for the sacrifices of military spouses. In other words, National Military Spouse Appreciation. So the 2021 celebration was held on May 7th and was the first of such under the Democratic administration of Biden and Harris. National Military Spouse Appreciation Day is also sometimes known as Military Spouse Day, and this year's event highlighted how an initiative of the present government through the office of the First Lady has empowered more than 1 lakh military spouses with employment and training. Today is also commemorated as National Moscato Day. It is your chance to raise a glass and celebrate the history of this white wine, which is known as desert wine. No wonder it is delicious, but those who are not used to it better don't touch it or take it. Because when you uncork a bottle, you can expect a blend of peachy, orangey, and nectarian flavors. So today is also commemorated as National Provider Appreciation Day in US. On the Friday before Mother's Day, May 9th this year, childcare workers are celebrated on this day, including teachers, nannies, and caregivers, all who are essential workers in helping worker parents continue to provide for families. The day focuses on building awareness of this day, thanking childcare workers and showcasing their contributions to their communities. From a simple thank you and gifts to social media posts and hashtags, this day is also deserving our attention. Many individuals and charitable organizations are working hard to have this day more widely recognized to bring awareness of the work involved in being a childcare professional. Today, childcare is needed more than ever, with both parents going to work and both being expected to meet the ever increasing demands of the workplace. We are working longer in both work hours and years, with retirement extended to 70s. Grandparents are no longer the go-to option to take care of the kids, as they are most likely also still working or away. Day is also commemorated as National Public Gardens Day in US, which is celebrated every second Friday of May. We get to enjoy the open sky above, lush green grass beneath, and being surrounded by blooming trees. Spending time in nature has been scientifically proven to help reduce stress, improve emotions, and lower blood pressure. As if we haven't already experienced the surge of tranquility that comes with taking a deep breath in the open. The American Public Gardens Association established this day to emphasize activities such as plant conservation, water conservation, green space preservation, and home gardening. Today is also commemorated as National Sleepover Day in US. Is a day to celebrate amazing sleepovers that have been a way for friends to bond for decades. We can relive the midnight bonding with friends that made our teens too wholesome. Sleepovers have been held by adolescents and teenagers as a way to spend more time with friends in a free, wholesome environment. It's an opportunity for the people to let their hair down and make some incredible memories with their friends, from sharing stories about their personal lives to bonding over a sad movie together. Today is also commemorated as Russian Victory Day in Russia, and the celebrations get grander with every passing year. Russia celebrates Victory Day to commemorate the Soviet Union victory over Germany in World War II, while traditionally a day of introspection and mourning for Europe. The spirit in Russia is diametrically the opposite. Victory Day is a public day that highlights spectacular military parades, and the armed forces go all out. Consider it as a remembrance of millions of Russians who died in the war. Today is also commemorated as Tear the Tags Off the Mattress Day in US. This is not an event for the timid. So if you crave excitements and like living on the edge, forgo this. Posted warnings from the government and rip off those tags. Do the pillows too, if you like, and if, in case you are wondering if removing a tag is illegal, we advise that it is for some. The notification that removal of mattress tags is punishable by law is not directed to consumers, but the mattress manufacturers. Have you ever wondered what the purpose of mattress tag is? Well, it is to let consumers know exactly what's inside the mattress and what it is made up of. And they are there to serve the consumer. A mattress may be manufactured with a material some people are allergic to. So this information must be available for everybody. A mattress tag is a way to protect consumers from what they think they are paying for. So before the 20th century, mattresses were made of a lot of materials ranging in quality. A manufacturer may claim that a mattress is made of finest cotton money can buy when it is just a mix of something like straw and paper. The situation becomes worse when the manufacturer uses recycled materials containing bacteria or bedbugs. A particular concern to the government was the risk of manufacturers reselling mattresses that has been used in hospitals and as a consequence is exposing the wider population to dangerous communicable diseases. So when the government required that manufacturers add tags to mattresses ingredients, there were some who weren't using high quality materials and of course didn't want consumers to know. So they ripped off the tags before the mattress hit the retailer showroom floors. It is for that reason that a required notice was added on every tag stating that it's punishable by law to remove or damage a tag by the manufacturers or retailers. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations. Thank you everyone for joining us in today's commemorations. So we request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form, which has been shared in the form of polls. And see you all tomorrow at the same time with the same joining link with different commemorations. Take care. Good night.